Hi, I'm Jenny On. I'm the Director of Membership Mobilization and Political Action for the Canadian Auto Workers Union.
And what shape and form and manifestation does political action take for the in your union?
Well, I don't think there's any cookie-cutter answer for that. It really is depending on what the issues are in the campaign. But for us, it's about reaching down to the grassroots and ensuring that they're involved, that they are aware of the different issues, and that they get involved and then bring other members to get involved as well. And then not only within our own union, but how do we reach out to our membership, who will then reach out to family and friends in their community? Because I don't think that as a union that we can change everything, but of course what we can share with our members and then share more broadly will make those positive changes.
Can you give me an example or two of some of the kind of campaigns that you're conducting?
Well, recently we've been involved in a retirement security for all campaign about improving the Canada Pension Plan. And originally we, got into some hot waters, let's say, with the auto sector back in 2009 with our own negotiated pension plans. And we had our fight back in campaign and a big demonstration bringing our own members. But what we realized was that this is an issue that's not just for our own membership, for those members who have a privately negotiated plan, but in fact we need to raise the standards for all workers, for current retirees and future retirees, so that they're not in the position of losing their hard-earned pension plans, but for many Canadians who do not have their own plans. So we built it broadly and worked with the Canadian Labour Congress so that we could improve standards and improve the Canada Pension Plan, for example. So we worked within our own membership, but we also did things broadly with the community, with seniors organization, with young people, and try to make Canadians, workers, understand the importance of having some retirement dignity.
How will that campaign be affected by last week's election result?
Well, it will be a challenge, but I think it was still a challenge even before the last election. So we are continuing on. It's a campaign that we're not just closing the book on, because it's still an important issue whether Harper had a minority government or that Harper has a majority government. So we're going to push. We know that there are a number of provincial elections as well this fall. So we're going to also work and continue to lobby the provincial government, who has an incredible role to play in this issue, but also to push on Stephen Harper, because of course, even if he may not fundamentally believe in it, it's an issue that affects the broader, it affects workers, it affects Canadians, whether it affects them today, in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years from now. It's something that's going to resonate, we hope, and we're just going to have to make it count and make the Conservative government and Stephen Harper understand that if he doesn't want to look after this for Canadians, then we'll make sure that they feel the pain. So it's going to continue on, but it will be a challenge nonetheless. But I think a lot of groundwork has been done already. And this is an issue that resonates with both union and non-union workers. And of course, for workers right across, no matter what sector, no matter what geographic region, and really no matter what age, because everybody will retire at some point, and we all want to retire with some decent pension income. So we think that it's an important issue. I think that Harper understands it. It's just whether or not he wants to do something about it, and whether or not he cares and has the political will to do something. So we're hoping to get them to that point.
Do you have other thoughts or campaigns that you'd like to mention before we go?
Well, I think for us, not just around campaigns, but it's important, I think, that unions get involved in electoral politics, but also issues in between electoral politics. And that's what we are continuing to do. Social unionism, absolutely. That just because we had a federal election last Monday doesn't mean that we're done here today. That we're going to continue to do the outreach, to do the lobbying, and not just to one or two political parties, quite frankly, but really talking to all political parties, and then engaging whatever the issue may be. We might see, for an example, the fight to dismantle the long gun registry. So if that comes back, then we'll be ready to take on that challenge again and engage our members and linking what happens in our community, what happens with legislation, and then what happens at the ballot box, and why we need to have these relationships, whether they're good or bad, but need to have these relationships in between elections and during election time. So we're going to continue on on a number of fronts. So it will be on the pension campaign, for example. We know there's a big fight around public services and keeping public services public. And then, of course, it could be the gun registry. There could be issues around campaign financing that we know, of course, the Conservatives don't want to have campaign financing, which as workers, we can't necessarily fund to the extremes of a corporation and others, but we have the people power. So those might be issues that Harper will try to attack, and we'll have to do that education and outreach with Canadians and union members so that they understand what's at stake. So those are just a few of the different issues, but anything is out there, and I guess some of it is being proactive, and some of it will have to be reactive depending on where Stephen Harper also wants to go.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.